Welcome to the Community Spotlight Podcast. My guest today is Nate Harvey. He is I got to read his title. He is the manager of the Crawford Success Center at North Central State College here in Bucyrus.
That's correct. Good to be here, Dave. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. If I don't know your name, because I see you about every week.
We got issues.
Yeah, we've got some real issues if we don't. But like I said, he's manager of the Crawford Success Center at North Central State College and right here in Bucyrus. And today we're going to talk about funding your future, because a lot of people, you're going to school, you got to have the money to fund it. So let's go down this road.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we all desire the same thing. We want to have a quality job, and sometimes requires a specific skill set or credential or trade to get there. And there's just so many funding options in our local community and through North Central State College that when you pair it all together, it really delivers its uncomparable value.
Well, right now, I guess, as we start off, what kind is currently going on there at the Success Center?
Yeah, just a few quick updates on what we're doing, what's going on here upcoming. We have several workforce trainings, so these are non-college credit, but these are more like workshop, boot camp type trainings. We have an introduction to leadership on February 21st and 22nd. This is for that new supervisor, how to handle conflict, how to relate to your staff under you, what are appropriate boundaries, establishing good rapport with your workers. So if you have somebody in your office or on your floor that that's just been promoted to as a new supervisor, that might be something to consider down the road. We host trainings throughout the year for an introduction to supervision training, and we cover all those in a 2-day session.
And we've had a number of those, so they must be fairly successful.
Yeah, I think we have up to 25 people maximum for this, and we're already at 25, I believe, for the next training. So there's always new people that are getting promoted, and who's the next leader in your organization.
Microsoft Excel is another one, correct?
Yep, another one in March 21st, Introduction to Microsoft Excel. This is where you're covering the basics of how to create a spreadsheet, how to develop formulas so you can really maximize that spreadsheet, how to format it, how to review charts. Again, there's somebody in your office that maybe needs a little brush up or reminder, refresher. Maybe it's somebody that has no computer background. This would be that training for that person, and that's a 1-day. I think it's $200 per person for that.
But that's been also another very popular one, hasn't it?
Yeah, we just started teaching that, I think, last year, and again, we've had very high turnout for those trainings. So that's Introduction to Microsoft Excel. And while we're talking about these types of trainings, just want to put a plug in. We also have advanced versions of these trainings. So if you have people that are already familiar with Excel, or supervisors that have been on the job for a while, we have advanced leadership training, advanced Microsoft Excel to take it to the next level as well.
Oh, okay. And well, that's a good thing to bring up, because somebody might say, well, I took the Excel before. They'll say, well, I already know the basics about it, but there's obviously levels of training just like there is in everything else.
For sure.
Now, we're still in spring semester.
Still
correct?
in spring semester. The North Central has broken it into 2 8-week sessions called the A term and the B term. So just adds more flexibility for the student, where they can maybe do a prerequisite in the first 8 weeks and then start their next class for the final 8 weeks. So if you're chomping at the bit to start with us in college, March 18th you can get plugged in. That's just around the corner, but if you're really motivated, we can make it happen. But then for summer semester, that begins May 28th. For those of you that maybe need a little more investigation on what you're looking to do, maybe need more runway to ease your concerns, the summer semester might be a nice opportunity. And for those of you, maybe if you're a parent out there listening, if you have a senior in high school, if they really wanted to get started after graduation, they could keep right out of the gate May 28th and keep it going and start working towards a certificate or associate degree.
Well, again, they have some time, so if somebody wanted to do something now, coming up here to March for Part B of the spring semester, or if you want to wait and go maybe and take something in summer. But the bottom line there to me is you need to come up and talk to you folks or get involved with this, so you kind of find out a timeline of these various things.
And also, just we always talk about our LPN program.
Yes.
At the center, we have the nursing lab. This is starting in summer is a perfect setup because our program begins in August for a daytime focused program. So you could use that summer semester, May through July, for prerequisites or brush up, or even get a head start and take a few of the classes that have no prereqs, get started in your nursing career, and by next May you could be graduated and having a high demand field.
Yes,
so
very, very, very high demand.
So some ways too to think about is sometimes an extra semester just makes it easier for work-life balance. If you're working and going back to school, it's not always maybe the wisest thing to go to the full maximum load. So if you start an extra semester and stretch it out, makes life a little bit easier and help you be a better student.
Helps navigate some things a little bit better.
And as I have little kids at home, it's good to come home and spend time with your family and not be always in the books or in work and school. It balances that.
Well, the next item that we're going to talk about is a local fundraising event. Of course, I've been involved in this for maybe, I think it's about 7 years now.
Yeah.
Maybe you might want to let our audience know about this.
Yeah, Scholarships for Success. So this is an event that we raise funds for local Crawford County students attending North Central and the Crawford Success Center. This is now, I believe, is it year 6, I believe?
Well, I
or
think
7?
We've had 7, but I think the COVID, I can't remember the number, but I think I say 7, but
Okay.
that's,
So if you want to get started out, or if you want to participate and you're listening out there in the audience, we have an online auction. If you go to scholarshipsforsuccess.com,
okay.
and this is through Castle Auction, so if you go to their website as well, we have an online auction that's going live here this week, and you can start bidding on lots of nice donations from our local community. And then also the night of the event, this is a live auction where we have corporate sponsored tables and we have people coming in from the community, and we have some really nice items in that live auction.
Yes, we do.
Last year we raised over $35,000. So this isn't just a fly-by-night event. This is a well thought out, structured program that we've been planning since last August or September.
Yes, a lot of planning, and it's like we finish one and then we take a little break, but then it's not much of a break, and then we start in right on the one for the next year.
Yeah, it's true. But it's scholarshipsforsuccess.com for that online auction, and we'd love to see you online and participating in that.
All right, now down the road, we've got some other things coming, correct?
Yeah, we have some cool things we're spinning up right now. My assistant Hannah Young is working on. We're just trying to dive into more one-off, just basically opportunities for people to gain maybe a skill such as LinkedIn training or a resume workshop, helping individuals that, when you come in our building, people realize all the great opportunities that we have. And so we're just looking to be more of a community resource and just work for our community. And lastly, if you're somebody out there or know someone that does not have their high school diploma, we have a partnership with Mansfield Adult Education where twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have GED training, or you can get what's called your adult, or you can get your high school diploma through the adult diploma program. And essentially, if you go through this adult diploma program, you get your high school diploma and just the equivalent as any other diploma, and you can get a paid training skilled credential through one of our partners at Pioneer or Madison Career Center for, say, welding, construction technology, phlebotomy, medical assisting, those types of programs, and get a career-ready credential right now. And that's a great thing. We have students flowing through our doors that are getting their GED or high school diploma.
Well, and that opens the door to other things, but you got to start at that door first.
Yeah, in education, it's just a continuum in acquiring skill sets. Yeah. And so we welcome people from all backgrounds and walks, and that's really our strength, is that we're able to meet students where they're at. And I know we usually cover that when we come in here in most of these podcasts, but again, just want to reiterate that it doesn't matter where you come from. We're all having a starting point from somewhere, and we're going to help you get to the next level.
That's right. Now, like I started this off, funding for the future.
All right.
There's a lot of things with funding, and I know you know this in and out pretty well, so I'm going to let you kind of share this with our listeners this morning. I think this is very important. So.
Yeah, just pivoting to affordability and funding. When we talk about affordability off the top, North Central State College is very competitive. 3 out of 4 students from our college graduates debt-free, which is an amazing statistic, considering that in the state of Ohio, a bachelor degree on average walks out with $30,000+ in student loans. When I used to work in banking, I would see individuals that would be strapped with student loan debt, and it's hard to see individuals have to make choices, whether it's purchasing a house or a vehicle or paying their student loan. I mean, it really can add up. So Crawford County folks are positioned very well with funding opportunities. First off, this event that we just talked about, Scholarships for Success, is designed to support you. Again, we raised over $35,000 last year, and we're looking to do that again, and that pot of money will stay here in Crawford County for our local students. That's on top of every February, North Central has a scholarship month through the foundation, and you apply on the website, and you could be eligible for additional scholarships in the whole pool of scholarship funds within North Central. All students, regardless, should apply for the FAFSA. This is through the federal government. You could be eligible for a Pell Grant, which based on need could be up to $7,395. And so many students that I work with at the college that receive that amount typically get a refund check halfway through the semester. So it's covering their costs, their books, their fees, and many times get a refund check to help support you through life circumstances as you're going to college. You know, you never know when that alternator is going to go out, or child care and have an emergency. The FAFSA is that kind of that bedrock to funding. And so the good part is they just updated as of December 31st. They made it a simplified version. You know, there's been all the talk with our tax returns getting simplified to a postcard. And I don't know how we're making progress or not, but the FAFSA has been shortened, and the questions, it's much easier to do. So don't be scared. You know, if you need assistance, our staff will be glad to make an appointment to meet with you or your family one-on-one. Let's sit down and do this together. If there are any specific questions, we'll get with our financial aid office to provide that next level expertise. Some other funding options to consider. So again, we have the February Foundation Scholarship Month, where they award more than $250,000 every year for that. If you're a high school senior out there, if you've been taking College Credit Plus with us, we have the Tuition Freedom Scholarship. If you have a 2.75 GPA and you take 8 college credits, it's about 3 classes, you can punch your ticket for a tuition-free degree, 64 credit hours. I mean, that's registered nursing, that's engineering, business management, accounting, IT. By having a 2.75 GPA, taking 8 credits with us while you're in high school. I mean, if you're, especially those of you with younger high schoolers out there and you're listening in the audience, Tuition Freedom Scholarship is the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of this. I mean, you know, we've had a lot of this type of thing. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are listening to this podcast like they usually do. How do they get started? Let's say we've whetted people's appetite here, so to speak. That say, yeah, I'd really like to go back. Maybe I'd just like to take a course, or maybe I have a field, or I want to explore different things. The door is wide open, isn't it?
Door is wide open at the Crawford Success Center. You know, we're located at 130 North Walnut Street in Bucyrus, across from the courthouse. Drop in. You don't even need an appointment. Myself, Hannah Young, my assistant, will meet with you. Pat Hargis will meet with you, our nursing success coach. Joel Lyles, our transition specialist, will meet you. No appointment is needed. You want to make an appointment, that's great too, but please come in and sit down, and the possibilities are endless. You can call us at 419-755-9039. That's our main office there. Connect with us as well. You can follow us on social media. We're very active on Facebook and Instagram, so if you search Crawford Success Center, you can see our page and everything that we're doing, and we just try to really be out in the community and interconnected with everybody. So.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on here. Like I usually have you on here once a month, and sometimes you bring folks with you. Today you flew solo on your own here.
Flying solo, coming in.
Yeah,
so.
You're coming in. So the main thing is get that landing gear, and we'll be fine.
Could I make a few other quick points just on the funding? Just some other external partners. Everything that I listed today so far had been kind of pulling all those levers within North Central State College.
Right.
We work very closely with our partners at the Community Foundation for Crawford County. Their deadline for their scholarship is March 11th, and they awarded more than $200,000 last year. They have a really cool approach where you do one application and it applies to many scholarships. It is a little bit more to it, but again, it's worth it when you really calculate. Even if you get $1,000 scholarship and you spent 1 hour, it's $100. That's
good return on investment.
It's a great return on investment. You're not going to be getting that anywhere else. Next door at Crawford Job and Family Services, we walk individuals personally over next door. Many people don't know that they help provide additional funding, or if you have a gap in your funding and you're stuck, if you're eligible, we try to walk students over, and maybe it's help with buying your scrubs or helping get access to a reliable laptop. Our friends at Job and Family Service are so helpful to our students, whether it's their youth program from age 14 to 24, and then their adult program for 24 plus. Susie Cole and their team do a wonderful job. And then final thing, it's easy to forget, but tuition reimbursement through your employer. The IRS limit is up to $5,250. It might be one of those benefits that kind of gets overlooked. It's something that tap into your employer, see if they can pull some strings, or if they don't have a policy, maybe approach your supervisor. You want to keep a quality employee, maybe they could help chip in for your next development.
Yeah, there you go. You're sounding more like me. I'm always selling, aren't I?
So
that's what you got to do.
Bottom line, though, there's funding all across our community. If you come into our office, we'll sit down and connect you to the vast array, and we'll pull all the levers to make sure it happens for you, and whether it's internally at North Central State College or externally as well with our partners here in Crawford County.
Well, Nate Harvey, the manager of the Crawford Success Center at North Central State College, located here in Bucyrus, I want to thank you for being the guest on the podcast. I look forward to having you back again next month. And folks, if you are interested in making some changes in your life and doing some things, they really have a very open door to help people. And I know you guys have helped many, many people to make that first step. And once you make that first step, it gets a little easier, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. You're off to a sprint before you know it.
There you go. Well, thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.